B-Leaguers, here we are, 5 days away from our 2022 draft. Here's your draft primer and 5 rounds incoming, including now IDP players available to draft, which should allow a lot more talent to go to those later rounds as well. Crazy off-season. All those trades by teams, the free agent moves, makes everything interesting. Various quarterbacks changing around, and then we've also got the draft as well, which is pretty crazy. Just don't mind me keeping the ball for a dog. So that was unreal. There was lots of things I wouldn't have picked there, even the in-draft trades of players like Hollywood Brown and AJ Brown. So apparently if your surname is Brown, you could be on the move. Bad news for Debo. So we've got Matt, aka Thanos, with all of the picks. He has all the rings. He's got 7 of them, half of the draft of the first round. He's been able to get picks 1 to 3 and also 9 to 12, which allows him to plan well. So we should see him able to decide what sort of players he wants, what sort of positions he wants as well. It's important to note he will have a late 2023 pick. Probably not 14 as you mentioned, Matt, but it will be late, I promise you, because I'm still going to make him my bitch. He's also got no 2024 pick either. So that probably puts a bit more pressure on making certain moves in this draft in order to sort of be successful down the line. After Matt has his first 3 picks, we have 4 of the next 5 franchises that could go quarterback. Now we know it is Superflex, and we know how important having that quarterback is. Obviously, a lot of those got drafted in the mid-rounds of the NFL draft, as opposed to last year's 1, 2, and 3 overall. But they're in spots, they're in positions where they can, become the quarterbacks of the future for those teams, whether it's this year or next year. A lot of the landing spots aren't great though. It wasn't like, we don't have a Najee Harris in Pittsburgh, or we don't have a Jamar Chase in Cincy. So a lot of those players are maybe not in the best spots. Drake London's going to get peppered a lot with targets, but he's also playing for the Falcons, a little bit different to playing for the Bengals, for example. And you also had Jalen Waddle to the Dolphins last year. I don't know if we've got quite the same types of landing spots for these players. A lot of those wideouts that went early went to teams as either, the wide receiver 2, or they went to a team that wasn't particularly good. We've got new owners, DJ and Giles. They're going to be looking to make an immediate impact with their 106 and 107 picks. And look, my early 2020 call is I think he's going to be a dark horse. He's got players coming back from injury. He's set up pretty well with the 104 and the 204. And I think he was the 101 for the IDP draft as well. So I think he could go pretty well if he's paying attention, which we don't fucking know. My team gate favourite is James. Now, he needs some luck. He's going to not finish last. Obviously, he's got a lot of picks in 2023. He's going to try his best not to get those punishments though. But the team's looking pretty ordinary, and he's going to need to make that 105 count, the 201 count, and then obviously he's pretty high up in the IDP draft as well. I think 104 in the IDP draft, so going to have to do well there. So, my predictions: is there going to be less than 3 or 3 or more quarterbacks drafted? I believe there will be 3 or more quarterbacks drafted in round 1. I think the magic number's 3, but I think it'll be at least 3 quarterbacks drafted. Will there be 3 or less, or more than 3 running backs drafted in round 1? I think there will be more than 3 running backs drafted in round 1. I think there's going to be 4 running backs drafted in round 1. And in terms of wide receivers, I think they'll probably round out the rest of the positions. I think there'll probably be 7 wide receivers go in round 1. So that's my predictions. I have written down my mock draft, which I'll share with you after those players have been drafted. So good luck to everyone for the upcoming draft. Good luck, Matt. You've had to deal with a lot in the last 2 years, and now this is your chance to rebuild and get back into the playoff contention and look, obviously trying to build towards championship number 2. But as Rose has said to you, don't fuck this up. So, all right, boys, good luck, and I'll see you after for our draft recap.